Handheld games were always my favourite during my childhood. They were easy to carry, could be played anywhere, and most importantly didn't use a television. Now I grew up in a family of 5 children who were all casual gamers when they wanted to be, and so the SNES that was hooked up to my television was always occupied. Look at me, I guess my parents always knew that I'd be a computer nerd. Also, side note, do you see that frog looking thing there? I was given that as a gift on my 18th birthday. Yeah. So in spirit of handheld games, I'm going to be counting down my top 10 favourite Game Boy Advance games. I considered not adding remakes to this list, but I just couldn't ignore them. Some series may be missing from this list, and I'll explain why. I owned this game console as a child, and so I didn't own every single game. I had to rely on what my parents bought me.
10.
Put on your red shoes and fasten up your buckles. Sonic Advance is a fantastic 2D Sonic game, and you can't use fantastic and Sonic in the same sentence very often these days. For those who love the classic Sonic formula, this is the game for you. It has a range of unique worlds, 4 playable characters, and a ton of secrets. The only thing I don't really like about it is how zoomed in it is, but that's just the Game Boy Advance for you.
9.
Well, there had to be a Final Fantasy game, and none of us sucked me in than the one that starts with a snowball fight. Tactics is set within a book that the children of the game stumbled across, and it hooked me for many an hour. There isn't much I can actually say about this, it's an RPG, so it's just something you need to experience yourself, but I highly recommend it.
8.
Now, it's heavily debated what is the best Mario game of all time, but I put forward the argument that the GBA remake of Super Mario 3 is. This game revamps the original for new art style and amazing controls. I own this game on every console you can buy it, but I always come back to the GBA version for some quick Goomba stomping. What can I say that you don't already know? This is Mario at its finest.
7.
A Link to the Past was the first Zelda game I ever played, and that's probably why I love it so much. As a child, I didn't actually own this game, a friend of mine did, and I would simply play on hers. But I got really hooked on this adventure, and sadly it wasn't until I was older that I could actually buy my own copy. But damn, this is a good Zelda game. I've talked about this game way too much recently, but basically it's your job to search dungeons and protect Hyrule, so get going.
6.
Have you ever wanted to be a Pokemon? Well, I have. I bet it'd be awesome. I love this game from the moment I started playing it, and I'll explain why. Firstly, you begin with a quick personality test, and this assigns which Pokemon you are best suited to be, and I love this, and I revisit this game every year, and I always get the same Pokemon. Some days I even try doing random answers just to see which Pokemon I get. I love the story in this game so much. You play a human turned Pokemon who teamed up with another Pokemon to help others escape dungeons. I still hold this game dear to me, the storytelling is fantastic and the gameplay is simply amazing.
5.
Now, I was originally going to add Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 to my list, but I actually remember playing Underground 2 a lot more as a child, despite the fact it's not rated as highly. I imagine this is due to the god-awful controls, but that's what I love about it. Once you've mastered the controls, you feel like a god. I spent many hours grinding every ramp in this entire game, and I could carry on doing so now if I didn't have so much stuff to do. This game was the biggest time sink for me, and I'd often just sit and play while watching TV and such.
4.
For those who didn't know, I'm a huge fan of simulation games because they all seem challenging to me. I actually discovered this game when I was about 13 years old, and since I'd spent my youth playing The Sims on the PC, this seemed like it was going to be great, and for me it really was. This game plays a little bit more like a 3D adventure than a Sims game, and I like that. You still have to worry about water, food and rest, but you can also factor in having a job, managing time, and buying new houses. I recently repurchased this game since my old copy was broken, but my original cartridge lacked a save feature, so I know how to complete this game in one sitting.
3.
There will be a lot of Mario on this list, and now that's not because I love Mario, it's because I love the games he's tied to. Superstar Saga is a cheeky RPG drawing inspiration from Mario RPG on the N64. This game always brings a smile to my face simply because of the really funny dialogue between all of the characters. Also, the combat is fantastic. For those who don't have the chance to play as classic, South Park Stick of Truth is the next best thing in my opinion. It uses the same combat and funny dialogue, just a little bit more explicit.
Hi! Did you accidentally get someone pregnant?
2.
Here's a little challenge. Okay, ready? Name a bad Mario Kart game. Go. Well, okay, the Wii version is a little bit weak, but the GBA version is one of the best. This game has a whole range of brand new tracks, and you can unlock every single one of the SNES tracks within the game. I don't really need to say anything special about this game, it's a Mario Kart game, and thankfully for all of those who can't grab this game, the 3DS version has remade almost all of the great tracks from it. This is pretty useful, as while getting footage for this game, I remember just how hard the controls are to master.
1.
This is by far one of the most played games of all time. Following the Game Boy boom of Pokemon games, these gems roll around and take everyone by surprise. For those who are now too old, they ignored it, but the generation still hooked on these games thought they were amazing. Fantastic music, a whole new land, brand new Pokemon, and a depth that cannot be measured. This just feels alive, and it really did feel as though I lived there. This game has also been given a pretty awesome remake, and I highly recommend checking it out on the 3DS. So that's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed my top 10 list. Here are two brand new lists. Here is one for my top 5 favourite games, which I pick apart my inner childhood and I think about the games that really inspired me and the games that made me love the genres I love. Here's another list for the game Terraria. If you've never played Terraria before, it's a 2D Zelda Minecraft adventure and it's fantastic. I absolutely love the game. My channel is basically centered around it. And so if you check out this list, I'll be talking about my top 5 favourite weapons and you can go check that out. It's a fantastic list. If you like swords, if you like adventure, you'll really love that list. So that's about it for today's top 10 video. If you want to click that subscribe button, then you'll be informed whenever I post a new one of these. So thank you all for watching. Peace.